Welcome to our first update since we finished constructing and planting the no bullshit pond in early spring. If you haven't already seen our original film, you should, because it turned out to be an epic pond build after the first excavator dramatically caught fire. There'll be a link to it at the end and in the description box below. The main focus of this film is going to be our beautiful fish. You'll see more of them and find out how they're getting on. Plus, we've now given them great names. The past few months have gone well. The mud of last winter has long since been covered over by grass, and the aquatic plants have been flourishing. We expected the roach to spawn, which they did in mid-May, but we were surprised by what then happened in early July, which I'll explain shortly. Anyway, before we get absorbed by the fish, I'm delighted to show you our lovely new boat, needed for the necessary maintenance. It's British made, stable and unsinkable. I know our pond isn't that big, but it's already proving to be extremely useful. A big thank you to Mike of Otter Boats in Devon for his generous support. Another addition is this pergola, which will eventually be covered by wisteria, complete with benches. A great spot for sitting at lunchtime on work days. The wood came from trees we cut down to make way for the kingfisher pond. Our plan has always been to monitor the progress of the fish as they grow, annually, individually where appropriate, but also checking on the entire biomass, and to show the beauty of fish. We couldn't do this without a seine net, the most essential piece of equipment. And we've got one, thanks to the generosity of Dawn of Collins Nets, who's been brilliant. This seine net will allow us to catch our smallest fish and our biggest ones, plus everything in between. A lot of what Collins Nets do is bespoke, and they've made this for our specific needs and size of pond. As I explained in the original film, our very best carp are being kept in smaller stock ponds until they're big enough to survive the attention of herons and cormorants. And we'll soon be seeing how these beauties have grown over the summer. We've recently adapted a third pond. It's bigger than the other two, although not as deep. As the young fish grow, they need more and more space. Huck Nets kindly gave us this anti-predator net to stop the herons from having an easy meal. So, back to the no bullshit pond, where we're about to use the seine net for the very first time. We've lowered the water level to just below the margins, which should help make netting a bit easier, using this pump generously given to us by JCB. Before we start, I've got a few more bits of essential kit to quickly show you. We'll be temporarily keeping the fish in this holding pool, which has been kindly donated by Pro Pools. We're grateful to Corda Tackle for giving us this cradle and weighing sling, plus Reuben Heaton for donating these digital weighing scales. In case of any minor injuries to the fish, Tony Campbell of the island's carp fishery has given us this Cyprogard spray. Fish care must always be of primary concern. OK, it's time to get to work. first ever attempt at seine netting has gone really well. With just 2 sweeps of the pond, we've got all of the fish out, ready to be measured and weighed. And that includes this year's fry. As I said at the beginning of the film, we were expecting a few of our roach to spawn in mid-May, which they did. And here are a few of those little ones, now 5 months old. Wonderful in themselves, but also food for kingfishers and herons. What we weren't expecting was 3 further spawnings in July. One of our common carp must have been a year older than assumed, and the same with our tench, because we have fry of both species. Plus another batch of roach, or possibly rudd. Tench fry, when they're very small, don't yet look like tench with their distinctive olive green colour. At this young age, they're distinguishable by a vertical black stripe just before the tail fin. Right, time for weighing, etc. That's a wrap for today, but we move on to the first of our 3 stock ponds tomorrow. Here we go again. Next up is stock pond 2, which has the biggest of our special ones. We're fully draining it and we'll use this opportunity to cut back the aquatic plants in preparation for the winter. The fish are now out, in this holding pool, about to be weighed and measured. Another day, another pond. This time stock pond 1. The fish are a bit smaller in here, but absolute stunners. Again, we've now got them safely out, ready for weighing and measuring. It's now the final day and we've almost drained our lower pond, where a dozen of our smallest carp and 3 small tench were moved into at the end of August to give them more space to grow. There's a lot of marginal plants in this pond, which we've temporarily taken out to make sure that no fish get trapped as the water level drops. These beauties are still pretty small at the moment, but they'll become bigger fish over the years. Something we'll be monitoring and filming. Haven't shown you every named fish in this first update film, but I hope you're nevertheless getting the idea. I'm sure you can see that we've got some real stunners. These underwater creatures deserve to be more widely known and appreciated, other than just by anglers. We'll have a big announcement at the end of the summer next year, which you won't want to miss, regarding a major development and more hard work. So, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel and hit the notification bell, now's the time to do so. Thank you for watching, and keep tuned for the end screen, which you can click to see the drama of us digging the no bullshit pond.